What's up, guys? Welcome back to our channel. Guys, I'm so excited. We are almost there. I just want to say thank you for all our loyal subscribers. And if you haven't subscribed and joined the family, go right now. Subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment down here. Tell us how much you love us. And just join the family. Guys, I want to touch base on a few things. As you guys can read by the title right here, we're going to talk about a lot of confusions. A lot. Confusions that people in South Africa have living in America, and confusions about what Americans have and what life is back home in South Africa, right? First, we're going to talk about the confusions or the misconception that people in South Africa have living here in America. So as you guys know, I'm originally from South Africa. I was born and raised in South Africa, and I relocated recently to America. So, the number one thing that people have misconception about is money, the worth of money in America. Guys, the same way we struggle earning the extra cash, it's the same way back home. I think people think relocating to America, oh, you're living in America now, you're rich, you ball and you have it all good. You don't. You don't, unless you pick up a million or $2 like on the sidewalk of the street, and that is never gonna happen. Okay, maybe in 10-20 years it's gonna happen. Okay. People always back home is like, oh, send 20, 30, send me $100. You don't just send $100 for nothing, for no reason. You don't do that, because $100 is it's nothing over here, but it's so much back home for people. You cannot do that. People have a misconception of you having money when you come here, but what they don't think about is how you get that money. The same way you have to work multiple jobs back home is the same we have to do over here to earn that money. And the same responsibilities for that money you have back home is the same responsibilities we have over here. And unfortunately, people think life is so much cheaper over here, and it's not. Life is expensive over here if you think about it. If you convert 1 month rent of us and 1 month rent back home, it's two total different things. Okay, so I want people to know that living in America doesn't mean you have it good. You don't. Okay, you're trying to make the best of what the situation is, and whatever you do with it, that's about it. The second thing that I want to talk about is housing. People in South Africa always think that coming to America, you're living in a big house, you're living in these mansions, and no. America have studios. They have 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, up to I don't know how many bedrooms they have. The only different thing about the housing that I realized is our houses back home is built with bricks, like stones and cement and concrete and stuff. Over here is I don't know, like wood and cardboard and all that. Like, it's not as solid as the houses that we have at like in South Africa, right? But it's the same thing. We have 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom in South Africa, and the same thing applies here. You have 1 to 3 bedrooms. You have small houses. You have houses that only have 1 level, that it's not a 2-story house or a 3-story house, and the same thing happens back home. So I want people in South Africa to know that America doesn't only have mansions. They have small houses too. Okay? The third thing I want to talk about is cars. People back home always think that, oh, in America now you drive a Lambo or a Mustang or Bugatti. No, they have VW Polo Vivos over here. They have the TSIs over here. They have the Honda Civics over here. They have the little Chevys, the Sparkies over here. So it's not just back home. I want people to know that the same cars that's over here is the same cars back home. And even though it feels expensive to buy the cars at home, it's still expensive over here. I think it's just the currency that people is using over here and the currency people's using back home. But people drive Polo Vivos over here. They drive the GTIs, the TSIs, the Chevy Sparkies, the Honda Civics over here. Same thing in South Africa. The next thing I want to talk about is private schooling. People in South Africa have such a blind eye to think that America only have private schools. No. America have public schools too. The same way we have public schools, they have public schools, right? The only thing is the public schools over here, their standard is, I don't really know what the standard is, but it's not as high as the private schooling. And I think that's the same thing back home. Private school is different than public school back home. But I want you guys to know that not only South Africa consists of public schooling, but America also have public schools. And some of the schools in America that's public, it's free. Like, people don't pay for it. And if you think about the public schools in South Africa, people have to pay for the public schools. Doesn't matter which public school you're going to. The public schools that I know about in the town that I lived in, I know people have to pay for public schooling. Like, going to a private school, going to public school, your parents still have to pay. In America, some public schools is free, and I don't know if there's some of that you have to pay for, but I know the ones that I know about, it's totally free. And obviously the private schools, it's a lot of money. It's very expensive. So I want you guys to know that America do have public schools. Okay. The next thing that I want to talk about is lifestyle. I think lifestyle comes in with, it's a personal preference. Back home, I had a pretty good lifestyle. I never had to really worry about where the next meal is coming from or what is going to happen next. Like, my parents was really good in that. Like, we know that we have it. We didn't have it good. We had what we need, and we get what we want when my parents reach the point of being able to give it to us. And that's the same thing in America. Like, people living a lifestyle that they can afford. So it's basically all about you living a lifestyle that you can afford. People back home is seeing us over here having luxury stuff and things, and then they think that we have it all good. We don't. Whatever we have right now is what we were working towards, and we were working really hard to earn all that. And the same thing applies for back home. People just have to work hard to earn what they want, or they have to work hard towards what they want, right? And that's the same thing over here. You have to work towards what you want. And that's about it. The next topic I want to talk about is the confusions that Americans have about South African people. Guys, we don't live behind the bush. We live in a house. I remember when I came to America, there was a lot of people asking me about my accent. They were like, "Oh, are you from Africa?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm from South Africa." And they're like, "Oh." Or they will walk past you, or you guys will have a conversation and they'll be like, "Oh, do you know Nelson Mandela?" I mean, guys, that was our first black president. Like, everybody knows him. He's an icon. He was our hero, and we honored him for what he did for us. I think we still do today. Like, we obviously know him. Or people will ask you, you guys will have a conversation, and they will ask you about, "Oh, do you guys have a lion as a pet?" Like, who does that? Who does that? Nobody does that. I don't know. Me personally, I don't know people who ever did that. But we didn't. Like, in the neighborhood that we lived in, that my parents lived in, it doesn't work like that. We will see sheeps and stuff crossing in the field, but that's about it. that is people, it's their um, animals, and they just taking a walk with them, or like just take them out to eat some grass and stuff like that. But we don't have animals in our backyard. It doesn't work like that. People in America have the confusion of people in South Africa doesn't speak English. We speak English. English is part of the group of languages that we have. They have multiple languages in Africa, in South Africa, North Africa, Central Africa. But where I came from, English is the second language. Afrikaans is our first language. English is our second language. People in America have the confusion of us traveling. They were like, oh, you ride a bus for how many hours? You guys don't fly? We fly. We have international airports. We have an international airport in the town that I am from, in Uppington. We have international airports in Johannesburg, in Durban, in Cape Town, we all over. So I just want people in America to also know that we have airports. We don't have lions and stuff walking around in the backyard. We speak English because it's part of it's a cultural thing, I think. And we're also just human beings. We don't live behind a bush. You come to America, people have like, oh, you guys have Wi-Fi over there? Of course we have Wi-Fi. We use data, which is prepaid, and some houses have Wi-Fi. But we do know about all those things. I think a lot of people in America think that we don't have it that good in South Africa. We do have it good. I think most of the people who relocate from South Africa to America is to see what life have to offer in America. It's not that there's nothing over there. No, don't get me wrong. There's a life over there. There's a lot to do over there. It's just you want a change of scenery. That's why you relocate, right? And so I want you guys to, if you have any questions about, or if anybody in America have asked you something about South Africa, I want you guys to leave a comment in the comment section. Tell me what questions Americans have asked you as a South African. And if you in South Africa and you're watching this video, let me know what else you want to know about life, about just overall living in America. I would be really keen to see that. That would be really good to read all those comments. But as I said, there's a life in South Africa, there's a life in America. The reason why most people relocate to America is either where they found a new job, or they want a change of scenery, or they just want to try something new. And I think there's also a lot of Americans who relocate from here to South Africa pretty much for the same thing. We won't know. And sometimes people doesn't relocate like full time, they just relocate temporarily for either vacation or like temporary job or stuff like that. But thank you guys for watching this video. I had fun to tell you guys how I feel about this whole misconception, confusion. It's just a lot. And I think as a South African, when people ask you those questions, sometimes you feel offended, but sometimes you're like, you know what, maybe this person just doesn't know about it. And I've learned a lot ever since I got to America. I've grew a lot, and I'm really grateful for that. That doesn't mean that I didn't grow, or I didn't know much when I was in South Africa. No, I do know a lot, and I did grow. I just grew more when I came to America and experienced what Americans have experienced. So thank you guys for watching this video. I love you. And as I said in the beginning, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe right now. Smash that like button, drop a comment, and share this video. And join the family, you guys. I just want to say again, I love you guys. Thank you so much for everything.